Hello, fellow zombies. And how's our stress and pressure and everything else going in our bodily neurochemistry and everything else? 5:32. Oh, actually, it's 5:33 in the evening on the 17th of September, 2025, for a Wednesday. We were in John City, Roseman, California. The Diary of a Griever named John Weaver, which is me. How you doing? Okay, I lost some recordings. Get too damn stressed out and tired like crazy, you just dump out the rest of your crap. So I'm like, on that one. Pisses me off, but still. But still. Olympics is coming up in a few years, and we're hoping we'll be quote unquote ready for that if we're not burning up in flames and stuff like that. Not because of fires that we screwed over. No, because we did a civil war on each other and tried to destroy our country one way or another. Or at least the Southland. I'm expecting that to happen. We're dealing with tyranny left and right, and we can't even get past the damn shit. And if my video is going overseas, and it happens to be seen by somebody of it in a royal court by accident, Your Majesty, King Charles, sir, as an American, I am not sure how to respond to our beleaguered, belligerent, and blunder-busting representative of our country who came over to get away from all the chaos and confusion, and your lovely citizens had graciously showed him the stuff he was running away from, sir. Granted, this wasn't the guy we thought we wanted to vote for. We got suckered with a Jim Jones thing. I'm expecting him to tear down and poison us all one way or another if he hasn't done so already. Yeah, I'm not quite so sure about Jim Jones back in the 70s. I had to get a little bit of research done on him, even though it was in my time and I was a very, well, shorter than we. Let's just say I was a small toddler during that time. Jim Jones was a cult leader, People's Church. He flew down to South America and had his cult people over there have a compound away from everything. He controlled so much of their lives that his fear and paranoia became so damn enraged. He had security people shooting people if they didn't take their juice. And he also had people shot to death, especially when congressionals were coming down to investigate. And this was out in Guyana, South American continent, and I thought it was Africa all this time. It wasn't. It's South America. I was mistaken. That you hear in the background is She Must Be Obeyed. Give me a moment. I gotta put her on the screen and throw a dog at you. Your Royal Highness, may I present Madam Tyrant in my arms. She must be obeyed. The official name for her is Mamas. Or Little Girl. There's other names I can call this dog. 20-year-old plus senior citizen, old lady, blind, deaf, and just as extremely needy as people we would know in our life. Especially when some of those that we've tried to do caregiving for in our lifetime, sir. And as I do to my dog. Literally, she is quite a handful, more in ways than one. Sir, as I said before, I cannot apologize more profusely regarding the representative who decided to invade your country. Believe me, there's a lot of animosity towards this guy. And the Trumplicans. The followers, the clones, the thought patterns, anything related to Trump walking on two legs in our government and in other portions of our lives. I don't know what the hell happened, sir. We were warned. We had the first term of this guy, and we barely survived that through a COVID nightmare. This time we don't have a biological nightmare. We just have him and his nightmare. In earlier videos that I had made, sir, it may sound like I was premature. I try not to take anything back that I don't mean. The thing of it is, if we happen to give any more help for this guy, as much as the American people would need it and want it, I am not feeding that bastard's ego. We're going to have to be destroyed, sir. You think it's extreme in a measure of me saying it. You're right. It is extreme at this point. It's something I'd rather not say or do at this point. I'd rather not, sir. You can have your guys scan and go through the damn videos. Go ahead. See where my thought patterns are going these days. I know I'm not the kind of one that issues or orders, but I'm an observer, and I'm saying, and I'm watching. I'm almost throwing up. I'm emotionally crippled by this stuff because I'm seeing a bully that we allowed in an office. We were warned. We bought the Kool-Aid. We drank it. At least those who were in the electoral college anyway. For me, unfortunately, I said no to the Trumper and to every other mindset we had out there. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I failed at my job as an American. I failed a job to convince people that Trump was out to get us. I failed. I failed you, and I failed the rest of the world. Except for the tyrants are laughing their asses off at us. And they are, sir. Almost 60 years next January. I've never seen anything like this in our country's history. Other places, yeah. Besides reading about them in the books, I was watching it on television. And it just never ceases to amaze me how tyranny can still work and authoritative regimes are still effective as long as they've got the power and influence, and they derive the power from the military and police forces. If they are that desperate, if they are that brain dead in the head, if they're that demented, I hate seeing this country go up in smoke, sir. I hate seeing it go up in smoke at all. And then we get to hear that the left was always the troublemakers. Well, the left tried to keep him out of office. It didn't work. If by the midterms coming up, and we actually have, the, I just lost train of thought at this point. Sorry. I'm hoping the Democrats will take something back, lessen his power somehow. I don't know how. Redistricting the only thing we know right now. Other people are not too happy about it. The Republican Party, if there's such a thing, are arguing about it, but we ain't got no choice in the blue states. We have to get that advantage. We have to do it against what everything else we know and think about and love about this country. I'm more connected to this country than I think I feel I am. Going back over a little bit of genealogy, I discovered that I did have an ancestor that was part of the congressional committees and the signings of two important documents. But I never tried to hold myself with that much pride. I tried to be a guy of faith, but I'm sucky in at that one. Especially I have a hell of a lot of anger happening in me. It's People not understanding or being misled left and right. I think one particular faith is going to be solid enough that we're going to have a happy nation. Your Highness and I both know that we already studied history, both our country details, as much as we could. And in your historical studies about what happened over the last 2000 and some change. Historical differences that happen, especially when it comes down for religion and faith, and using that in the name of, or even prior to that, prior to 2,000 years. I try to explain this to my fellow Americans on video, but apparently I lack the oomph. I don't know if they actually understand that in our country we come from a lot of things happening in other countries that brought us to this place that we hoped would have been a better place. But all we've done is fighting among ourselves, trying to stabilize a country, and living with a world that's so chaotic it's not even funny. We even tried doing the isolation period right after World War I. It didn't help much. It didn't help much. Especially when you had other people, let's see, out in Italy, Japan, Germany, ring a bell. It got us into it. I'm going into, actually, I've been attending for over a decade of a community college, just taking my time. The class I've got right now is dealing with the wars between Korea and the latest Iraq. There's a guy named Donaldson. He's written this book. He's been a professor writing other books, but the problem is with this guy. The thing is, he's never been in the military. Not that I've been able to research. And the book is profound because of his language. Sounds like the way I've been writing my essays. Not dry toast, but tries to add his own humor and his own personality into it. The book I refer to, sir, I apologize for taking up too much of your time. Hopefully the aides who are looking over this can do that. Gary A. Donaldson, America at War since 1945. Politics and Diplomacy in Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. I got the Kindle version of it. But I needed to read this. Hold on to it for a little bit because I need it for my classwork. I'm still a little bit undecided for either English literature or American literature, history, or political science 101. Everything's revolving around to it. Everything's merging into something like that. Trying to make sense out of it all. 10 years going in English classes, history classes, political science classes, and then some of the other prerequisites. Even one of history play a role somewhere in there. Doesn't matter if it's American history or not. But it's something I still have to go through anyway. Eventually I'll get my graduation. Eventually. We'll put her down so she can moan and groan and whine. She's fussing. If you happen to see anything crawling around, don't freak. I'm dealing with constant bug war. This is not appropriate letters to send to a monarch, but I wanted to show you one particular American, one citizen of this country, one human being, and talk to another human being about things happening. I know we've all got problems, sire. Majesty, that'll work better than sire. I don't even do that to old Trump or Gasbag. I don't show him the respect on that one. He hasn't earned it. He's been making so many threats on everything and anybody, it's not even funny. This guy has got some mental issues. Even you have to figure that out. That he already had mental issues when you first met him the first time. It was probably in the first term years ago. So you know how bonkers he is. Well, that being said, Your Highness, I will apologize on behalf of the American citizens who never liked Trump in the first place and don't like him, trust him, and want his ass out of office. And apologizing to the rest of the world that we had to inflict his asshole onto the world, almost just as bad as COVID. Except he's trying to get it up there in the body count. You heard what happened in the Caribbean. I haven't had that much happening or reactions, except the independent press, as I call them on the social. They're talking about him. They're having conniption fits. If I happen to go on any other social platforms, I'll be driving myself crazy because I feel so much anger and frustration and rage over these guys. Not over the guys posting, but the reaction towards Trump and everybody else who's related to him, or being a Trumplican, period, which is a clone of the Trump. Do I really wish self-destruction on our country? Unless in my country? Not really. I just don't know any other way we can fight back except to fight back. I kept putting out two different series of sequences. Both are probably tattooed in your memory. The breakaway from George III, and then our own rack of insanity happening in 1860. Hoping to give my own countrymen a reason. Hopefully not to do political violence and try to shoot people or kill people. That's never what we wanted in the first place. We got some of the conservatives out there who want to have the country split apart. Literally. We tried to do that. We had a 1860 Civil War. Confederates versus the Union. How'd that go? We have never been at peace with each other. It's always a constant turmoil. But then again, England and Great Britain was never that much of a peaceful nation sometimes. You talk to Gandhi about that one. Yeah. Tried to follow his act. Saw a movie back in the 80s with Ben Kingsley in it. Love that guy. And I had to do a little bit more studying about Gandhi's ways and philosophies. Similar to what Christianity was supposed to be. The problem is we have destroyed it so much I don't even recognize what Christianity is supposed to be, except maybe in form and action. Form and action, Your Majesty. But I'm not saying it out of the United States at this point. I live in California, sir. I'm a native. I'm not a Native American, but born. It's been my home ever since. And I'd seen so many changes in this place. So many. This change that we have for this election cycle. Trying to scare the crap out of me, but the rest of it's still pissing me off. It's like I have to wait, fight back with the ballot boxes, fight back by voting him out or anything else, just waiting for the midterms so we can get some help. Don't treat him too badly. I'm talking about the old gas bag we call President of the United States. But if he happens to have any issues, treat him nicely and take care of the old asshole. Please, sir. Yes, my language is foul for an American because he has been foul to a lot of us. There is one thing that I have to keep remembering. There's one thing I have to keep remembering, Your Highness. What did Christ say on the cross before he passed? Father, forgive them, they don't know what the hell they're doing. A paraphrase. Father, they don't know what they're doing. No knowledge, no complex, no idea. We think we do, but we're screwing things over. So, and speaking about tyranny, she must be obeyed. We'll wait until you have dogs like this. Then we'll compare notes about being caregivers. I could tell you more about my life story here, but notice one more thing, if I may ask, of your reviewers out there. The cabinet behind me, third shelf, and you see the picture in the bottom. Let's just say that being a caregiver in any form, either you're taking care of humans or you're taking care of animals, is challenging. Stressful, but challenging. I appreciate your time, Your Highness, and I appreciate your staff's time on this one. I know I'm a fool, I'm an idiot. Goes without saying. My ancestors did come from England. They also came from Ireland and Scotland and Germany. I'm a mutt. But I hold deep American values. If I actually had the time, money, and energy, and a passport, and a visa, and the other official documentation, I might visit England. I wouldn't call it home, but place to visit for a while anyway. Take care, Your Highness. God be with you. God be with your family.